Alrighty, guys, get into a trade recap today of August, or what's it? August 6th, 2026. So let's get into it. Honestly, interesting trade today. This was a kind of discretionary trade, and I will get into it right now. So I want to talk about the Judas swing, though, from this morning, which is kind of interesting in my opinion. So there was like a 15-minute fair value gap here, or hold on, let me get into daily bias, right? Sorry. 4 hour, we were inside of a daily fair value gap, expecting distribution higher. 4 hours clearly getting respected and disrespecting bearish PD rays, and MES was stuck between a daily fair value gap. So at market open, this daily fair value gap here wasn't filled yet, but that's what I'm going to get into. So the Judas for today, I really wanted ES to do this. There was a 1 hour intermediate low down here that I wanted to see get swept to take a long off of an inversion. And the reason why I liked that so much is because ES right around here hit the daily fair value gap. So now the question was, is this daily fair value gap on ES going to send us higher, or do I wait for NASDAQ to hit this hourly intermediate low? And sure enough, after we hit the daily gap, we get this double 1 minute inversion, and you could have taken this long here. However, you could argue that since NASDAQ didn't hit a key level, this long isn't valid, but ES hit a very high time frame daily fair value gap, so you could argue that it is right. Now, I guess I would have been break even here because this is a 15-minute intermediate high, because as soon as market opened, the 930 candle manipulated into a 15-minute fair value gap. So I guess you could also consider this high resistant, but I really don't think it is, because we have all of this internal or all of this 15-minute low resistance here that leads up to our higher time frame DOL being the unmitigated 4 hour fair value gap above, right? So this long, honestly, I was thinking about taking it. I just didn't like how NASDAQ wasn't manipulating from a key level, even though ES was strong inversion, strong Judas V-shape recovery, obvious break-even point, and just going for a 1-to-1. But, oh, and there was also like an unmitigated 15-minute up here. So I think it's a valid take and a valid fade as well. So it was interesting. If I see that again, I'll probably end up taking it. But yeah, that was a nice trade if you took that. But that is for the morning. So clearly we were trending higher towards this unmitigated 4 hour because we had all of this low resistance leading up to our higher time frame DOL, right? It's kind of just, if you go to the 30-minute, you have this market maker buy model, right? That you kind of want to see all of this low resistance get taken out. So the idea was for us to open up like a 5-minute gap and then take a long, or a 15-minute gap and then take a long. And we didn't get really any retracements. There was a retracement here, but I just didn't really care for it. Until we opened up a few 5-minute gaps after edging the 4 hour DOL, right? So we hit, after edging the 4 hour, generating liquidity with these highs from over here, we generated liquidity and we got a retracement into this 5-minute gap, which ended up getting inverse, this 5-minute gap, and this 5-minute gap. Now, what happened on that retrace, which is kind of interesting, and I've never really been put in this situation, is we opened up a 15-minute fair value gap on that retracement. So now I was like, okay, cool. We could just dip down into that 15-minute and then get this 3-minute IFEG. But I also told myself, if we get this 3-minute IFEG out of these double 5 minutes, I would take this up to the 4 hour because this is such an obvious draw as well. So even though I guess you could argue that my stop loss was low resistant because there's an unmitigated 15-minute edit. It's just we got such a strong reaction off these 5-minute gaps here with this 3-minute inverse, as well as if you look at the 1 minute, doesn't this look like just a perfect reaction bouncing off of a 5-minute fair value gap and expecting like you got this accumulation manipulation, expecting distribution at least up to this 4 hour for sure to be break even, right? So I waited for that 3-minute IFEG because that's the highest time frame inversion on our manipulation leg. And I took that, put my limit down here, stop loss at the not all the way at the swing low, but somewhat. So I guess, of course, also MES was in a place of distribution. It was also inside of a 15-minute. There was like an SMT right here up to this 15-minute. So the problem with the trade, of course, is that there's an unmitigated 15-minute at my stop loss, right? Now, that is obviously the reason why I got stopped out, but at the time I didn't really care for it just because of the reaction we had off of this 5-minute, and this 3-minute IFVG was strong, and we have such an obvious draw here. AMD model on the 1 minute on the lower time frame. I thought this was a good trade, but ended up getting stopped out because of the 15-minute. Wanted to see like a resweep, maybe. I don't even know what's happening. We're just chopping right now. But yeah, that was the trading day. Lost about, not too much, just like 123. So I'll make that back tomorrow. But honestly, probably like a B plus A trade. Honestly, I think it's like an A minus, or like in between B plus to A trade, just because of the unmitigated 15-minute. But I mean, when you go down the checklist, hitting a key level, strong inversion, AMD, unmitigated 4-hour at your target, ES was in a place of distribution. Like the checklist is there. The only thing that wasn't there is the unmitigated 15-minute at the stop loss. V-shaped recovery. I just thought it was a good trade. I probably would take it again, but maybe just be a little bit more cautious. But yeah, that was the trade today. So yeah, I'll make it back tomorrow though. So yeah, peace.